Hey everybody, this is Trick Masterization, otherwise known as Lil Kydd, here for another round of goofing around. I don't know if my camera resolution is that good or not, but if anybody, sees me, puts this 1080p or whatever, knows I look all, kind of crusty and raggedy right now. I don't think I do. If I do, I apologize because I was just out doing some yard work and I was putting in some mad work, just like clipping branches, trimming some bushes out there, mowing lawn, things like that. Man, it's I haven't even eaten today, come to think of it. Actually, I'm really hungry. I should get on that after I finish. But I got some things that we need to talk about. First order of business. I think it should be necessary to give a shout out to Greedy Fresh because he just dropped a mixtape, his next mixtape not too long ago, called Memory Card. I'm sure it was about at least a few weeks back, and it was pretty decent. I gotta listen to it. I think I might have talked about him before. He likes to use a lot of video game music and sample that in his beats and his tracks and stuff. And he has a really nice, interesting sound going on. It's definitely unique. And I actually featured on one of his tracks. I made the beat of some of you might know it as the beat from *_Beat Society Volume 2 by the name of Gojira. We turned that into the song. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's called Memory Card. Yeah, it's a title track. So I got the title track. I featured with them in the title track. That's cool. It's awesome. But it's not only is that song though, the whole entire EP or LP or just straight up mixtape. It has a really good sound to it. I'm gonna link it in the description below, and if I can find it, and have fun listening to it. I had fun listening to it. In fact, speaking of video games and rap beats and such, I have been on such a musical journey right now. I don't know if many of you guys have been paying attention to my SoundCloud, but recently I've been doing some really weird stuff. And by weird stuff, I mean things like picking up new programs to learn, cracking open a Game Boy, learning LSDJ, learning all about chiptune music, and seeing about another genre that I can use to bend to the will of rap. That's what it's all about, how you can integrate all these new different facets into the world of rap, and I'm always in for exploration and things like that. So not only did I learn some things about chiptune, but I'm sure some people have heard some of my stuff on SoundCloud as of late. I've been doing some work with dubstep to learn how to mix things better, for one. I think it turned out pretty good, for my first honest-to-goodness dubstep track. I'm still used to the really chill stuff that I do. But, yeah, as far as dubstep goes and chip music, I'm really happy with the results. Also, one of my members of the crew, Lost in 312, by the name of Alias, me and him, we made a track too. He's going to be dropping an EP that I think deserves mentioning, the Man of Many Masks EP. I'll link the song, the song that we did together in the description below as well. It's on his SoundCloud. Check him out. He's dope. He has a really nice flow to him that I enjoy listening to. And the beat that I made, Munching Gorditas, that we performed to, I think it fit his personality very well. It was all grimy and crusty and ooh, man, it was good. Yeah, you guys should listen to that too. It's a really crisp sort of a track as far as the vintage feel. I feel we kind of went for it. I mixed the voices and the vocals and everything so that it's really dusty and crackly and vintage. And I like how it turned out, really authentic. Another member of Lost in 312 by the name of Caveman. Me and him are starting to work on something too. We're working on we're working on an EP right now. We have not given it a name, but we know we're associating a story with it. And I mean, so far things are turning out pretty good. He's really good at making beats. He makes a lot of good beats. He's learning how to rap too, so it's going to be a collab track where I'm guessing we're both making beats and rapping, just kind of on and off, maybe switching off or something like that. And I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. And then there's Kohai. Kohai and I were still doing this EP that we were talking about in the WHFH broadcast, the one by the name of Levels of Life, the story of Kareem. Right now, as it would have it, we have a good number of the tracks done. It takes some mixing and some mastering. We still got some recording left to do, but I mean, we're still cranking it out. As for me myself, there are some things that I'm doing solo. For instance, now that the Takashi EP is done, I'm glad that people like it the way they do. But also, I'm working on the Suzurio EP, which is pretty much the other half, the other side of the coin. That's all the underscore thoughts in my head, and they're going into the Suzurio EP. So I'm working on that right now. But I'm not going to invest all my energy on that, and here's why. Remember when I said that I have some beats and some tracks in the works that I don't tell you guys about, or that I don't release because I'm trying to monetize them and make money off them? Well, I think now's the time to talk about it. I'm going to be releasing two different projects to be monetized. And the reason I wait till now to tell you guys this is because, quite truthfully, I think that it'll serve a greater impact if I, gather as many people to know about this as possible. Really sort of hype it up. Well, not just because I feel it's a good project that I'm working on, but also because I want as many ears to the ground on this as possible. Because I'm putting a lot of work into this. I've been putting a lot of work into this ever since I was through with *_. But again, I have not told you. Yeah, the two projects. The first one is going to be a beat tape full of all original beats, all made by me, samples, all under the Creative Commons and all that. And it's gonna be called the Do Not Lift beat tape. I'm gonna call it that because there's some heavy stuff in that beat tape. I'm not, honey. I'm not. And some of the tracks in the Do Not Lift beat tape are going to be beats that I rap to in the actual album that I'm trying to put out, which is going under the name of Man v Society v Self v Kitchen Sink. Now, let me explain the name, just so you guys know this. The whole concept of that name is to talk about an individual who is against everything. It's the concept of man being combated by all these different negative forces in life and responding to them with courage and with wisdom. And that's why I put the phrase kitchen sink in there, because people often think when they use the phrase everything but the kitchen sink. When I put the phrase kitchen sink in that EP, it's just to emphasize the fact that man is in fact against everything, the entire environment, everything. And also there's an underlying story with this whole EP as well. This whole album contains a story about a guy who lives underground and raps underground in the sewers and stuff, and he has a pretty decent following. And so what ends up happening, he finds this girl, and this girl raps and sings and does a lot of stuff. She's a really awesome artist, and basically the two of them know each other. this girl runs off to a faraway land and tells him about it. And the text says, "Come, follow me to this nice land. There's opportunity here." And so he follows her, and right as she leaves his sight, she goes to the overground. She exits the sewers. She exits the underground. And he's reluctant, but he follows her, and that's where your adventure happens. It's a whole story about integrity and not letting what's around your environment change you, and things like that. Things of that nature. And I feel a lot of people need to hear about that. And I figure why, just tell them when you can write an entire story about it. Because I'm good at telling stories when it comes to rapping. I think it's a dying art. And, me and my crew, we wish to resurrect that in some way. So, take that for what it is. And I don't ask people this often, but please spread the word about what I am telling you here. Because I want as many people as possible to know about this. I'm deciding whether or not I should put it on the Bandcamp engine or something else, but rest assured, this is all getting copyrighted, and I'm gonna sell it, and for a reasonable price. I'm also gonna start looking into some more performances, not just raps, but also any places that just want to hear my beats, things like that. I'm thinking outside the bun for a minute. And that's how it is. Also, guys, sorry if I don't seem as cheerful as I usually do, because, man, life has been happening. We're talking trials and tribulations. We're talking a lot of different things, things that just kind of get you down. I don't know, I'm not gonna go into depth, but you ever just have those days like that, those weeks, those months, nothing just goes your way. In fact, it was because things haven't been going my way that I've been really cranking out this music, to get my mind off it. And this is why I really like rap and art, because I feel like that's my therapy. That's what it's there to do. It's helped me get my mind off of a lot of this stuff. One of those things in particular I will talk about, though, is the whole thing with the CEO of Nintendo. I feel that deserves a moment of respect from us. I'm gonna talk a little bit about this man, Satoru Iwata. Just for a minute, let's talk about this. Now, let's just say for a second that it is very, very terrible that this man had to die at 55. I mean, people that die at 55, just think about it. They have so much more life ahead of them, and and they bite it at 55. That's really bad, and it helps to think about it this way, that, just to put things in perspective. This man here, he has had a hand in a good number, if not most, of the games that you played as a kid. This is why I say I'm a Nintendo kid. I say it to the ends of the earth, because when I was younger, all the way up until junior high, I didn't pick up any of your fancy PS2s and I definitely didn't pick up any Xbox either. I started with an honest to goodness Game Boy Color. When my mom gave me that Game Boy Color and all those AA batteries, I thought I was on top of the world. I would play freaking Pokemon Yellow version, and that's all I'd do. Even if I did suck at it, it was there, and it got me through just about everything. Any kind of bad situation that I'd find myself in, just emotionally, in some really heavy, tense environments, at least I'd have the Game Boy to keep me company. Sometimes even when I was all alone, didn't really associate with, many friends back when I was younger. So a lot of times I just, be hanging around my parents, and I'd still have that Game Boy. And I know you got those people out there that hate on Nintendo and say, "Oh no, Nintendo's not good. They only do a bunch of kids stuff, and their graphics aren't the best." Well, let me tell you, as far as graphics are concerned, Nintendo, they weren't about that life. They chose to be a vehicle. They chose to be an outfit that's primary concern was just brightening people's days up. They didn't even care about the money all that much. I mean, at least the way I look at it, because there's some merits that go with being such a big company that sits on such a mountain of success, and that's how I always think about it. When you think about it, Nintendo really can't fail that hard. I mean, they already like they already won the console wars when people think about it. And you guys already know this because they sit on such a huge mountain of success that they could do console flops for at least about two more gens, the way I think about it. They could crank out 2 more Virtual Boys and those were bad, and they could still be in the green. And they don't care about any of this like graphics or stories or anything like that. Like while Sony's busy talking about, while Sony's busy worrying about jiggle physics in their fighting games, and Xbox is concerned with cranking out the next like Call of Gears of whatever, Nintendo's just focused on, innovating, figuring out new ways on, how to game, new ways to have a good time, and just new ways to enjoy the gaming experience, honest to goodness. Like none of this, competitive stuff, because competition in gaming has its place, but in the end of the day, games were made to have fun, and I think Nintendo gets that, more than anybody. You want a competitive Nintendo game, play Melee, but even Melee was competitive by accident, and that's something everybody's got to grip. When I think about it, just the whole Nintendo experience, like right now, even nowadays, I may play some Persona every now and again. I'm not a heavy gamer, but sometimes when I just want to chill, I'll sit down and I'll play some Kirby, because it's, easy. It's something to get my mind off of things. I don't play Splatoon. I'm not a Kydd and a squid, but for some of my friends who have it, I'll sit down and I'll play it, because Nintendo, the last thing they'll do is, make you angry or feel any emotions other than happy with the games that they put out. And it's really very heartbreaking to see the person who had a hand in all of this, just die at the age of 55. Because now whenever I think about it, I just think about the first time I was enchanted by, the Wii, and who was right there on that commercial. Fact check me if I'm wrong, but I believe Iwata was the one who had the Wii mote, and he was bowing respectfully and giving it to the guys at the front door like, "We would like to play." Then that's my one Iwata memory. I will always remember that, because that commercial blew my mind as a kid in 5th grade, and I really wanted a Wii. And I still don't regret getting that Wii. Some people might think I do, but I really don't. Nintendo is just so good of a gaming company, and it's going to be hard to replace Iwata, because Iwata was just really in with the community. I remember he said once that I'm not like in my name tag, yeah, I'm a CEO, but I'm also a gamer, and that means something. It really does. Just to bring this thing entirely full circle, remember what I said like back earlier in the video about how I was taking apart Game Boys? Yeah, I'm taking apart Game Boys and putting them back together and turning them into MIDI devices. Back in the day when the Game Boy just came out, it was innovative. It was so innovative. And you know, like nowadays they're still even using it for purposes, purposes that the Game Boy was not even meant for. Even I find that interesting, and I find that really, really cool. But the way I think about it, this company, this great company called Nintendo, Iwata's been in it for some time. He's been in it for a long time. He never gave up on us, the fans, us, the gamers. He helped us see a community within us. When people around me say they're Nintendo kids, I feel solidarity. We stick together as Nintendo kids, and it seems silly, but it's true. So, rest in peace, Iwata-san. You will be missed. I'm gonna think about you every time I play Earthbound, or Mother 3, or the first Mother game. Think about you when I play Smash Brothers, just any Nintendo game really, because I'll know that you had a hand in a good number of those games. All right. Peace. So without further ado, thanks for sticking around for another round of goofing around. This was Lil Kydd. Remember, always asterisk, always underscore, sometimes hashtag, and never backslash.